What's up, guys? Today we're playing Epic 7, and today we're gonna challenge Queen Azumashik in Labyrinth Nightmare mode. This was the hardest battle for me. It took me like 5 tries, and this is exactly how I felt. I felt like I was dying a little on the inside, but we finally figured it out. And the key is to bring multiple dispellers and also unbuffable. So keep that in mind as we're going through. This is much more challenging than Hell Raid. Even though Hell Raid is very challenging, this is much more challenging. And I consciously did not bring Rowana. So if you have Rowana, that might be a little bit easier, but I'm using a team without her today. We're going to be showing all of our hero stats and the full battle, and I'll try and put some alternative teams in the video description, but honestly, this one is very, very tough. Thank you guys so much for watching. Give me a like so other people just like you can find it as well. Until next time, happy hunting and good luck on your battles. Before we get into the boss battle, let's talk a little bit about why you would even want to do Nightmare mode. I feel like this was a lost communication and it could have been described a lot better to the players why you would even want to do it. To figure that out, we have to go to the reward section, so we're going to go in and we're going to go to boss guide. If you look at this initial boss, they have 3 different items that they can drop, and then also the galaxy bookmark. The additional items are from very specific sets, and the effect is random, which means that you could get things that are garbage, or you could get something that's really great, you just don't know. The galaxy bookmark is guaranteed, which I do like, and also what they don't have listed here is an epic artifact charm. This is something we used to have to buy in our normal raid. Now they give it to you for free, which is really great because you can never have enough artifact charms. Going into our nightmare mode, this is really where we're going to be seeing the difference between hell and nightmare. Going into our boss guide, we can see that there are immediately many more drops that can happen in the nightmare mode. One thing that we don't see here is we don't see the galaxy bookmark, and we also don't see the epic artifact charm, but just know that those also drop on these bosses. The main thing is that all these pieces of gear are going to show the exact sub stats. It's no longer random. You're going to know exactly what's going to drop any given time that you go into nightmare mode. Some of this gear can be very good, but some of it not so much. If we take this weapon for example, a 31 equipment score is really what I would expect from level 85 gear that can be reforged, but not so much from level 88. So this is not something that I would even waste time on. You might speed check it, and then that's about it. As we move on, 37 equipment score, really actually pretty good. It's almost max stats. And then 42 max sub stats, very good, but the rest of this is looking at really subpar for a level 88 gear. So coming into your nightmare mode, I mean, if we could drop this helmet every single time, that would be amazing, but maybe a little too OP. Just know that every one of these bosses has a chance to drop something really great, but also a chance to drop something that's not so great that you might just want to sell. Still, that's going to be a better probability than doing regular Hell Raid, where you could get anything. You can get combinations that don't make sense, you can get low rolls, you just don't know what it's going to be. Starting off our hero pool today, we're using Tamarin. She's going to be our frontline tank, and that's because the boss is going to put a debuff on you right away, and you need to do combat readiness to be able to break your team out of it. So what we want to do is we want to come into this fight with a preloaded S3 to make sure that we can lose the least amount of turns to that major debuff starting off the fight. Now what Tamarin does, she's going to be our main healer. I'm only bringing one healer, so I have Rod of Amaryllis. If you want to bring in Rowana as well, then you can probably use a different artifact to either boost your effect resist or to make sure that you don't have debuffs on you that linger from the queen constantly debuffing you. You want to have at least 100 effectiveness. The boss has 115 effect resist. I have 90 here, which is a little bit short. It didn't hurt me too much, but occasionally you're going to get resisted. So try and go for that 100 effectiveness. That way you're able to dispel the buffs off the boss, and it's going to make the fight a lot easier. Now, next up, we're going to go into our light heroes. For this fight, I'm using Savior Aiden. I thought it would just be fun, and she was there. Why not use her, right? She's on basic attacker build. Whatever build you normally use, I think will be okay. The ads take additional damage from light heroes, so that's primarily the reason I'm bringing her in. We're also bringing Angel of Light Angelica. She is pretty perfect for this fight, to be honest. She has a ability to remove 2 buffs and also cannot be buffed. This is very, very important because this gives you extra rounds where you're able to attack the boss without the counter attacks. Now, what I did do, I tried to bring in 2 heroes that can remove buffs without the unbuffable, and it just failed. So make sure you're bringing in someone with this debuff, and I brought in Angel of Light. She's on my normal everyday build for things like RTA, so I didn't change her at all. If you are running her just for this fight, try and get to 100 effectiveness, go for some defensive stats, and then any kind of speed you can give her, I think will be fine. If you want to stack her up with effective resist, some people run her like that, that's also good. Her main objective here is to constantly cycle that S3. The passive ability also helps a lot because it blocks damage with that skill nullifier and removes debuffs, so she's very good in this fight. And then lastly, what we're going to do is we're coming down to Camilla. Now, this was sort of something I just kind of threw together. I wanted to see how she did, and she turned out to be really good because she allows me to do more damage to the boss. This is my everyday Camilla for my Katie's 13 run. You can run her pretty much however you normally run her, and I think she'll be fine. Again, 100% effectiveness. That way you can land that 2-turn defense break on her S1. What I did is I soul burned this this defense break, and that way I could do more damage to the boss. That was very important to me, and I think that it worked out very well. Here we go with the queen. What you want to do is have one hero that's faster than Tamarin make that first hit. This will cause the eggs to hatch, and the queen will hit everyone.
You can't close your eyes.
Next, what you want is Tamarin to go use her S3. That will clear the debuffs, and also she'll add some combat readiness to break everyone out of their debuff, preventing them from taking action.
This is my stage. I'm coming.
We're going to be using Tamarin here to remove the buffs from the queen. If you attack her while she has buffs, and she's going to counter attack, but luckily, even though we got resisted, now we have the Angel of Light who's able to remove those buffs and also apply unbuffable. Now, if for some reason you miss both, what you're going to have to do is just hit the ads for a little while until you can strip that those buffs again. And then our strategy from here on out is just to damage the queen until she gets to about 50%.
I'll cut your throat. Should I end it? I will shine. Ladies and gentlemen.
Soul burning with Camilla or bringing someone else with a defense break will help to speed this fight up a little bit, and I think that really helps overall to enable you to finish this fight. I beat it as well without a defense break, but I definitely preferred it when I brought someone with a defense break. Camilla has 2-turn break, which is really nice because that enables you to have a little bit of freedom in case one gets resisted.
May blessings be with you. I won't stand down. I will deliver unto you
Your salvation. We still have hope.
I'm scared.
Now we're getting really close to that 50% mark. Once you drop the queen below 50, she's going to debuff you again, the same as before, and you'll be unable to take action. So make sure you have Tamarin loaded up with that S3 before you trigger it. Now you can also cheese this fight just a little bit, as long as you don't hit the queen with Archie or with a skill, you can continue to kill the ads, bringing her below 50, and she will not trigger you. See, we're already below 50 here. So Aiden was not perfect if you want to take this type of strategy, because if she does the passive ability S2, it's going to hit the queen, and now the queen's going to trigger, and that's exactly what happens here. Bringing in a single target attacker will prevent this if you want to do it, but we are still able to knock down this queen without having to kill all of the ads.
I think I'm going to faint.
Tamarin doing her thing is really important here. You can do it without her. I saw that we do have a video from one of our friends who is able to do this, and I'll link it in the description below. He is super amazing, and so I definitely recommend it if you don't have Tamarin.
I won't stand down. The door will remain closed. At least to you it will.
I fight with the power of all. Take no.
From here, we have the exact same strategy. All we're going to do is prevent some buffs on the queen while also doing plenty of damage.
Careful, please move aside.
I'll cut your throat. Stay on your toes.
Follow the light of truth.
Ta-da!
Ladies and gentlemen,
Let's shine. Don't worry, I'm here. Yeah.
well, I'm left with no choice. On behalf of the Creator, I will deliver judgment.
You can't close your eyes. Yep.
Stay calm and think rationally. Drive them out!
Should I end
I won't stand down.
it? We still have hope.
Now, as you see here, she does cleanse out of that unbuffable, and that's unfortunate. So we're going to have to hit the ads until we're able to remove her buffs again.
That's away.
Rest in your own will.
As long as I have something to protect, I will never lose.
Well, I'm left with no choice.
Here we go again, Angel of Light. She's so clutch in this battle. I really love her a lot. She cycles quickly. She's able to do the buff removal, and then she's able to apply it on buffable, so it's really nice. But you can see you do need to have more than one stripper, or else you're not going to be able to finish this fight very easily. Now we're almost done here. There is something that does happen. I don't know why they added this. It's kind of weird. There's no other boss that I can think of that does this. Once you knock her down to 0 health, all the ads disappear, and then now she gets this, frowny face, right? Basically, all you have to do at this point is survive. So if you can survive at all with even one hero, you're going to win. So keep that in mind. We're just going to hit her. We're just going to survive. Try and soul burn onto your Tamarin if you can to make sure that your HPs are up, and then you'll be good.
I will never lose.